For those of you that don't know me, I've been in the restaurant industry my entire life. When I saw the Leftovers Challenge, I knew I wanted to take part in it and I wanted to do something fun. If you're unfamiliar with it, Leftovers Challenge is a challenge to go to your local favorite restaurant, buy more food than you can eat in one meal, put it in the fridge, and do something fun and creative with it the next day. It's really important right now to support your local restaurants. So whatever you can do, whether it's buying to-go food, buying gift cards, going to your local brewery and getting to-go beer, show them some love. It really goes a long way. For this challenge, I went to my local favorite Vietnamese restaurant and I ordered an extra order of pho. So thinking about it, and I've got some leftover gyoza wrappers from one of the last videos, so why not make Pho Soup Dumplings or xiaolongbao? And instead of pork, I've got some leftover ground chicken, so I think it'll be perfect. Let's get to cooking. All right, I'm super excited about this one, so let's start. I have 2 cups of pho broth, just the broth, and then 1 packet of powdered gelatin. So we're gonna take about a cup of the broth, set it in a separate bowl, and then add our gelatin to it, add the entire packet, and this broth is cold. What we're doing is we're gonna bloom the gelatin, get it hydrated before we add it to the rest of the stock. So let that sit for about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, we're gonna add the rest of the stock to a saucepan and put that over medium-high heat until it just comes to a boil. So once your broth is simmering, take it off the heat, and then your gelatin should look something like this. And then we're just gonna slowly incorporate that into the hot broth, just a little bit at a time. Whisking to make sure there's no lumps. You wanna make sure everything's all incorporated evenly so it sets evenly. So we're gonna pour that mixture into a shallow baking dish, and we're gonna set that into the refrigerator for about 2 hours to set. In the meantime, we're gonna take our ground chicken, add green onions, a little bit of cilantro, and a little basil. Also, about a tablespoon of hoisin sauce, and about a teaspoon of our hot chili oil. Mix that all really well. You wanna make sure all the dumplings have the same flavor profile. I kind of debated for a while whether I want to cook this or not since it's chicken. So I decided to just lightly saute this chicken. So there's still a little bit of pink in it, but I wanted to at least partially cook it to make sure it gets cooked all the way when you steam them. Once your gelatin is nice and set, you can just take a fork and break that up into more workable pieces. And then we're gonna start filling. So there's 2 ways that you can do this. You can mix some of the gelatin into the chicken mixture, or you can do it separate. I'm gonna try it separately just so you can kind of control how much filling versus broth are in your finished dumplings. So take a little bit of each, and then to fold these, what you're gonna wanna do is hold the dumpling in the cup of your hand, and then using your index finger and thumb, you are gonna hold one side and then use the other index finger to push a fold into those 2 where you crimp it. And then you're gonna do this all the way around the dumpling, using your other thumb to kind of push the filling back down into the wrapper. It does take a while to get used to, and I'm not gonna lie, this part did not get easier. If you need to put it down on the table, you can do that as well. And then at the end, just pinch it all together really well and give it a nice twist. And there you go. That's fine. Then after about an hour of stuffing dumplings and my technique not improving at all, I have plenty of dumplings now. I even got frustrated at the end where a couple wrappers stuck together. If you can, I would recommend making your own dumpling wrappers just to get a better size. I feel like if they were bigger, they would be easier to stuff. But I did this technique where I folded them in half and then folded the ends up to the top and just kind of pinched everything together on both sides and then folded all those points in with a twist. And honestly, I can't tell the difference between those and the other ones, so you do you. But when you're ready to cook, just lay out some parchment paper squares, or I'm using cabbage leaves just because that's what I had. Set your dumplings on top. The rest you can throw right in the freezer like this, and then once they're frozen, you can throw them in a Ziploc bag. When you're ready to cook, get a pot of water boiling, throw your steamer basket on top, and then give it about 10 to 12 minutes, and then voila, you will be rewarded with amazingly hot steamed dumplings. Finally, the taste test. What? Oh, you want a dipping sauce? Alright, fine. I'll make a dipping sauce then. For a really easy dipping sauce, you're going to take some of your hot chili oil. The link to that recipe will be in the description as well. A little bit of Chinese black vinegar. And then a little bit of sugar just to sweeten it up. Mix that all together and you have the most amazing dumpling dipping sauce. Finally, it's time to taste test. And also, if you're noticing the shirt, yeah, I ate one earlier and it spilled hot liquid all over me, so don't do that. But oh my god, this was worth it. I might need a second because these are so delicious. Alright, that one was a lot of work, but it was still fun, it was still delicious, and I got to support my favorite local restaurant. This might be the only time I ever tell you to go pay full price. So get out there, support your favorite local restaurants, show them some love, show them you care. I'm Jim with Doesn't Pay Full Price, and I will see you on the next video.